Hey there and welcome back. I'm Joel and this is Tifa. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. Now, I'm the creative type. I have a lot of ideas about things. So I'll look at movies and think about how they suck and how I can make them better, or how they're good and how I can make them better. But I also do that in games. I grew up playing Dungeons and Dragons a lot, and so I got to learn the system really well and kind of got to a point where we would homebrew a lot of stuff and created my own worlds and characters, eventually creating my own classes and spells and mechanics and magic items and all that stuff. So I've been doing this for a while, and I also happen to be a fan of the card game Magic the Gathering. I only got into it a couple years ago, but have really enjoyed it. And as I played it more and more, understood the rules more and more, and much like anything else, creativity came to me. And so I decided to create this idea I had for a new game mode within the Magic the Gathering format. And it can function within different formats like Commander or Pioneer or whatever it may be. You can fit this in to make it work, and I'll go a little bit more into the detail in a minute here. But I created this video to share that idea with everybody, so go ahead and take a listen as we go to the board.
All right, here's how the game mode works. The game is called The Hunt. It has three modes in it. It has Predator, Prey, and Pets. It also has three levels of difficulty. It has easy, medium, and hard. Now, this game works mostly within the Commander format as a 4-player pod. However, if you play Pioneer or Modern with 4 people as well, it works great. It also works best with creature-based decks. So tribal elves, goblins, warriors, soldiers, whatever it may be, as long as it's more of a creature-designed deck. If it's something else that's has a win condition that is outside of that, like drawing yourself out or anything that there's millions of combos out there, but it mostly works for creatures. So here's the breakdown of the three modes. We'll start with Predator. So in Predator, you have a card. The card has the keyword monster, and that will work differently than your other keywords, specifically in the sense that it won't be targetable by most things. Now, while you're in the game mode of Predator and Prey, the monster can only be defeated through combat damage. So if you had a destroy target creature, that wouldn't work. So how it will begin in the game is the first person to go will get this at the beginning of their turn, during their upkeep. Then, as you play the game, you, the players, are the predator. So as you summon creatures and put them out onto the field during your combat phase, you can then choose to attack that creature. Now, when you go to attack it, whatever the abilities on the card be will take place. Some of them will have interesting and unique effects, both positive and negative towards you for attacking, to make sure that the reward you get on the other side is worth it. When you go into combat, you destroy the monster. You will then flip it on the other side, and whatever it is, you get a creature, an enchantment, a instant or sorcery, whatever it may be. You get that goes to your hand, and you can play it whenever you want, as long as it fits within the term. So if it's an enchantment, it has to be played during the main phases. If it's an instant, at any time. Now, when that monster is destroyed, you get the reward. The next player will receive their own monster on their upkeep, at which point the game continues on. However, if you are a person who wants to go after that, or someone else wants to go after that, they'd go after that on their turn. However, if you don't want them to, you can use your own creature to block theirs, preventing them from getting this reward. And then on your turn, you can then attack it and get the reward. So then when that is destroyed, the reward then goes, and the next player on their upkeep moves in. And it rotates around like that. And that's more or less the basics of the game. You play it, comes out, attack, get the reward, goes to the next person when that is destroyed. Now that's just the normal speed. If you want to have a quicker game, you can start out with everybody having a monster. Now you won't be able to destroy your own monster on other modes. It's always going to be in Predator that you can attack it because you're hunting it down. So let's go ahead and move on to the next mode, which is called Prey. Now in Prey, it's kind of the same concept. On the upkeep, the creature will come in. When it's destroyed, you get the reward. Moves to the next person on their upkeep. However, with Prey, the players are the prey. The monsters are now the predators. So at the first person's turn, it will come up. It will go through one round or one rotation of the players until your second turn. At which point the monster will then attack you, the player, during the upkeep. At the beginning of the next player's upkeep, the monster will then move to them. And then it will go one rotation or one round until their next turn, and then it will attack them. And then on the next player's upkeep, move to them. And they'll rotate in that cycle until a monster comes in and you now have creatures that you can use to defend yourself. And when the monster attacks, you defend, you destroy it, you get the reward. Now this is the normal speed. If you wanted to have a quicker speed, you would simply have the creature come in, one round rotation, it attacks you, and then on the next upkeep, it attacks the next player. And then on the next upkeep, it attacks the next player. And then on the next upkeep, it attacks the next player. If you want the game to move a little bit quicker. Now again, in the Predator and Prey modes, the creatures, the monsters, are their own entity. Right? They are battles, they are planeswalkers. They are separate from the player and they are not creatures. So the monster tagline won't work on them for anything, and they can only die through combat damage. However, if we were to go into the pets mode, the pets mode starts with everybody having their own monster. Now, in this one, you cannot get the reward for your own monster. Any of the other three players can. So if they want to attack it, destroy it, they can. But you can't attack your own thing because now it is under your control and function under the same basic ideals of a creature, except a different keyword. So you'll attack it during combat. It can be destroyed during combat, and if there is a person out there that has a spell that says destroy target non-land permanent, that would work. And then that player that cast that spell on this would destroy it, they would get the reward. And when that monster is dead, you'll then put out a new one and continue the cycle. Now, if things move quickly, meaning you get a good card draw, you get a good mana ramp, and everything's able to get to the point where you're able to cast 5, 6, 7, or above CMC monsters or mana costs, you can then choose to, instead of starting out lower, or if you had already started out lower, saying, oh, we've moved around really quickly for the board, let's go ahead and rotate in the medium creatures, because now that's about the same cost for what they've been balanced out for. Or if you're finding yourself already casting things into the 8, 9, 10 CMC, then you can move on to the difficult and the high-powered creatures. And it will depend on you and your game pod, depending upon how quickly you guys go or how slow you go. And you can adjust it. Be like, oh, hey, we've got 3 people out there who have really good board states with really big monsters. Let's jump ahead and move into the big boys. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can play it based on how it feels or how it's rotating. So it's very malleable. It's very easy to adjust. That all of you can go, yeah, I think it's time for us to move on to the next one. Now, this has been tested. This is still in the testing mode. However, I'm still tweaking and making things better, and that's kind of why I'm putting out to the rest of you on the internet. Think of it as beta testing, open beta testing. I will put the 10 easy level creatures, I will put the 10 medium level creatures, and the 10 hard level creatures either in the description or at the end of this video. I will write out what they are, what they're capable of, and the rewards on the back. And then you can go to your pod, a group of friends that you play at home, or if you go to your local game store and play with them and be like, hey, there's a new game mode. It's kind of like Planes Chase. It still functions within it, but it adds a different dynamic to the game to help give positives and negatives and help change out way a game may turn out because, oh, you got the reward from this and that wasn't expected. Now you can do this. And it's free. All of the rewards you can cast for free. So I hope that this has been interesting. I think it's been fun for how much that I've been playing it and the people that I've played with. And I hope that you guys would like the idea to take it out there and try it yourselves. And feel free, as you try it and play test it, to hit me back up. Throw in the comments. Be like, oh, I liked this, but here was a difficulty in this interaction that we saw. And then, oh, I can adjust that and make differences for it. So, for example, right now I'm already going to make some changes to the cards themselves. I'm going to have the monster keyword remain there. And the creature type, so this one's a goblin, that will remain there as well. But I'm also going to add the difficulty level. Because when you when you cycle them back into their respective groups, sometimes you get them mixed up and some medium creatures go over here. But it'll also help just a simple identify, just little things there and there. So feel free to try it out. Hope you guys like it. Hope it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And feel free to let me know what you think about it. So have a good time.
So there you have it. It was a short video. Hoped I explained the rules well enough. If you got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll go ahead and respond. And this has been it for an episode of It's All About Me. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you later.